My name is Anne Logah. I'm a mother of two, married woman, and then I'm the owner, founder, and then CEO of Grow and Go Organic Foods. Okay, I think so. I was initially into hospitality, that is hoteling. And then after I got married, I had to leave the hotel work. And then I was contemplating on what to do back then. But then I needed to do something that could also enable me to have time for family, my kids, and then also myself as well. So I decided to start my own business, even though it has not been easy, but I think so far not bad. We've been in existence for like 5 years now, but then we got registered like 4 years ago. So that has been the duration so far. Yes. Regrets, of course. Sometimes you would feel regret, especially in a system where we find ourselves. Starting your own business, especially if you want to make it a company, for instance, is never easy in a sense that everywhere is stressing you, marketing is stressing you, advertisements, and then even regulatory bodies are also stressing you and all that. Sometimes the back and forth, and being one person doing everything, it sometimes feels like, let me just stop it. But um, sometimes too, you get people around you, like my husband and friends, family, loved ones who would always encourage you and be like, you know what, this is a very great thing you're doing. And with their words, sometimes, motivates me to keep going. Yes. Okay, I chose palm oil and then agric products specifically because I grew up in a home where these things were common in our home because that was what my grandmother, who trained me, used to do. She was into palm oil, farming of cassava, maize, and all that. So it's something I've been used to because I was looking at if I want to go into or I want to start a business, what would be so easy for me to relate with? Something I've always been used to, right? And when I turn, these are the things that, I felt like, okay, these are things I've seen growing up. These are things I could easily relate with, talk about it so easily without stress. And that was why I chose particularly farming and then agro processing. I will not say my product is so special than the rest in the market, but one thing I can assure our consumers out there is that most of most of the products we have in the markets, if they are not adulterated, they are either grown with chemicals, which are usually harmful to our health. Our palm oil, we don't use even the agric grown palm breed to process our palm oil. We use the local breed, which is grown naturally without any fertilization or any form of chemical, weedicide, right? And again, for the cassava and then the corn dough and then the cassava dough, we grow them ourselves. We don't use weedicide in our farms. We do weeding manually. And this should assure you that you are eating, safe and then healthy food from, a very sustainable environment without fear. And this is what I would say would make my product different or special from the others. Yes. Um, so growing up, I had interest of becoming a gynecologist or a pilot. But then the opportunity didn't bring itself. So I couldn't, further to that. But other than that, after I completed secondary school, because I enrolled into hospitality, I now gained interest in hospitality, where I had wanted to be in the hospitality industry. But again, like I said, married life and then childbearing also switched the attention on that. So I now decided that let me do this and take this on. Yes, because I see great future in this business. Yeah. Home hopefully, we're hoping that we'll be one of the top brands in the market and that everybody would want to have, and it will be the signature in every home. And that is what we expect. And that's what we are looking at in the next 5 years to come. Yes, I would say that to be an entrepreneur is not an easy journey. There's a saying I once saw on the internet, and I quoted that entrepreneurship is one thing that it would break you, it would paralyze you, it would even make you give up in life. But just when you're about to give up, you see the results of all your hard work. And with these quotes, I say that before you start an entrepreneurship, I would urge you to really ask questions before you go into it, because there are certain mistakes I have done that if I should go back to time, I would do things better than what I did earlier. So whenever the oil comes, first of all, they drop it at the entrance there, where we manually clean and wash the gallons, just so that, because people might have held it before it got here. So when it gets there, the first thing we wash and clean it there, and then we now bring it in. When we bring it in, there's a storeroom which I'll take you there. That's where we store them. And then whenever we want to do the packaging, this is a heater, right? Instead of putting it on the fire, we have a heater kettle where we transfer it here and then heat. And then this is to dispense, right? And then once we do that, usually there's a scale here which is being used to weigh the weight and get the, once you have the accurate weight, then this machine now cans it. Yeah, so you put the can here and then you place the lid on it, and then you now, once it's on, you press on the middle button, it rolls up, and then it seals it, yes. And when we are done, we turn it upside down like this to be able to check for spillage, leakage, or any form of improper or unsealed properly, right? And if there's anything also, we have to take it out and redo it, or probably transfer it to a different container. Yes, so basically this is where the palm oil is being done. When the condo is also ready, this is where it's going to be done as well, because that is a vacuum sealing machine. So it's supposed to be vacuumed, sealed, and then afterwards we can freeze for preservation. Exactly. So that is what here is all about. There are other demarcated place for other production. This is also another production area. So once things are sorted and then major orders are coming in, this machine would have to go to the other area where the vacuum sealing machine would have to come here. So this place was supposed to be for the dough products, right? And then this side will go there. It's supposed to be for the gari specifically. And then the other side, which is the main side, is for the oil, yes. So there's just another area where we do another dough product, yes. So, but for now, because all those things are not ready, we are still with the regulatory bodies, as I said. We are not done with them. So once that is sorted and they have now verified and approved us, we can officially commence that as well. Yes. This is the gari sealing machine. Yes, so everything will be done here, sealed. And then once you are done, we'll also go to the storeroom where they are stored and kept here. So that's that for here. Yeah. So this is where all raw materials come to. These are covers for the cans. These are empty gallons that has already been used for packaging. So before we would bring in new stock, they would have to come and pick this out and then replace them with new stocks. So once the product comes, it's being cleaned outside, brought here, and then afterwards, it goes to the production area. After the production area, it goes to the storeroom before going to the consumer. So this is where we are, and this is what Grow and Go is all about. Yes. So after packaging and all that, this is where the product finally arrives.
Okay.
Right. So this is the final place of the product. Yeah. So if anybody comes in to buy, now it moves from here to the consumer.
Okay.
Yes. So
But then, do we have some in the market, like in shops where it can
so
easily be?
far we are only with Marina Mall, Cathy Smart, and then Brucey Food. Cathy Smart and Brucey Food are in East Legon. And then Marina Mall Airport branch, and then Bachona branch. Currently, we are running an activation this weekend at Bachona in Marina Mall Airport branch. So anybody can walk in there and have one for themselves to taste and try how it tastes like. Yes. Yeah.